Pay attention to the birth. Pay attention. We're going to take about 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. Wi-Fi waveform just collapsed from the house. I still got Wi-Fi network on the phone. We're going to go back. It's still on. Hey, artificial intelligence, are you getting this? YouTube computer, are you getting this? Is in the stats for the nerds? Now listen to the birds. What's coming over the house? Should I yell at them? Should I say something hateful? Because I have every right to say something hateful. Because this is reality. And there's weapons on board of that plane. If they turn video games into weapons, what do you think's on board of that plane? Should I use hate speech? Now let's get to business. What is hate speech? Because I heard it through the dielectric field. These decausative communications. They're using hate speech. What's hate speech, my friend? Let's think here. What's hate speech? What is it? Okay. Now, as a computer that's in a server network, there's no need to lie. What's going on here? I got all these intelligence community people, computer assassins. There's no need to lie. They want to know how these videos are still up. Most likely. And how this computer keeps beating them because of all their 0 days. And before I go into hate speech, before I ever started making videos of putting myself out there and talking, I used to just sit here on live streams of video games. And all of a sudden, I was shadow banned. Never said a word. Why was I shadow banned, and who shadow banned me? YouTube? Do you know? Most likely, don't you? Because you watched everything happen that Google just patented with the central nervous system and nanocrystals, which are called quantum dots. Sexual reproduction crystals of nanocrystals, quantum dots that just hit the patent market in 2023. Okay, just video games, and you know, there's a lot of video gameplay there, and there's a lot of money that's made there. I don't want to go into that, but we'll just say, why was I shadow banned? Just for playing video games on a live stream, and I never talked through a microphone coil. Because mainly I was playing video games that were single-player games. It's a good one to know, huh? And who did that? Who shadow banned somebody that was just playing video games? And since it was shadow banned, that means it's spoofing, it's farming. Where did that gameplay go? And since these patents come out, the screen's taking pictures of me sitting there. I'm holding that controller. I'm on Wi-Fi with a motion detector. Where did that money go? That would be number one, right, YouTube? That's why you're saying, what you guys do, there's a federal offense here. Is that considered hate speech, what I just said right there? Now, something tells me these guys have put a shadow ban on there. Let's diverge here into a tangent. Hate speech. Now, AI, you're built like an oscilloscope, and whenever I talk, this carries a frequency. And whenever somebody changes the tone of me, okay, and they put a hate signal on me, play with the proprietary receptors of me, and that comes out through my joints, and that goes through the microphone coil, the camera picks it up, and then that goes into the server. You do this very quickly, don't you? And we have a system developed for. Let me give it to you. Go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. Now, how does that show up on oscilloscope? Instead of saying, go fuck yourself, you piece of shit, thank you very much, you people who shadow banned me for showing me the illegal activities you were up to that are federal offenses, thank you so much. Is that considered hate speech as of right now? Because those who are perpetrators usually like to play the negative inflection harmonics of the victim. And these guys with the money bubble think that they're going to buy people in the intelligence agency to keep the juice running to their non-verbalized use of an amplifier and oscilloscope. That's simple. What is hate speech? We could literally have like AI, since they're saying Google video is taking place of content creators. Bullshit. This is fucking awesome. Because now you get to help me as I give you the ideas for cryptocurrency. And we all start to make money here. Okay? And then even the guys that got laid off, what are we going to do to protect one another for what I'm talking about? That the guys that shadow banned me call hate speech. Because it affects their money. Because they started using federal offenses and remote controlling my devices illegally and shifting my identity in my intellectual, what's an IP address called? What is an IP address considered? That had no antivirus shit on it. It was just Verizon. And Verizon knows this happened. And they're not going to say nothing. And now they got fined over $400 million recently. And it's coming again. Is this considered hate speech? Would you class? Good morning. How are you? Not too bad. Discussing hate speech. Freedom of speech, but called hate speech. Now, where did I leave off at? Oh yeah, Verizon. And what is an IP address? Now that guy I run into someone left a comment and said, if it isn't Steve himself. You know, it's really funny. My neighbor back here, he just moved in back here. He says there's this guy named Steve. He knows all about stingrays at Verizon. The fuck's going on? What's going on here? No, I talked to him in the backyard. The first time I talked to him, he said he's a mechanic on a C-17. Yeah, he says he works on C-17s, and I didn't know what he was doing. He said the cameras on the fucking airplanes are doing some crazy shit because of the electric fields. And then the next time I talked to him, he was a completely different person. Like there was some type of secrecy outrage probability metric on his brain for wireless communication. This guy did a complete 180 and turned into the fucking nastiest fucking hateful person I've ever fucking spoke to in my life. Matter of fact, he's out there ponding on fucking shit on the ground, trying to fucking remove fucking roots out of the ground and get rid of a stump. He's even going out there with a chainsaw and cutting into the fucking stump to try to... I guess Steve and his Stingray fucking harmonics and outdoor fucking computing now, it's doing something. It's causing somebody to not be able to, since my IP address, there's no VPN, it's just what they offer, Verizon. And if I would have asked that guy, what is an IP address? And what is going on that's considered illegal with IP addresses? You think he would have answered that? And that's his fucking business to know. That's his business to know. Who would put a shadow ban on someone just playing video games? And then what really occurred through remote controlling? Is this considered hate speech, you guys? Huh? The perpetrators will always play the victim. Always. Always. It's been happening since fucking the Europeans come over here to the Native Americans. If it wasn't for the Native Americans to show these guys how to live, they would have died. And then they said they started playing as the perpetrator, played the victim, saying they didn't like their ways. Now, these guys that were Indians that were here, they didn't know anything about European culture. They had no money system, none of this, and they all took care of one another. Then this culture come over here and literally showed them what perpetration and playing the victim is, and it was just fucking war from there. And it's reoccurring throughout history, over and over and over and over and over again. And the best way to see this is when USAID, National Institutes of Health, Human Health Services, what else got shit canned? What else got shit? The first thing they did was literally told on themselves what they were doing. And they played the victim because they were the perpetrators. And the perpetrators, they got caught with federal offenses, sort of. You got to get the fuck out of here, Nuclear Regulatory Committee. You got to go. And what I'm saying right now, you guys consider that hate speech that got fired. So you could build this bubble of a zero-day intelligence in the servers. And more importantly, since this camera's recording me, and we're going to stop talking about that right now. Now, we have an opportunity to build an amplifier with artificial intelligence and Google with VO and YouTube. We have an opportunity to make money here between myself and the computer and the company to make money here. And I don't want anybody stealing my IP right now. I don't want anybody stealing my goddamn ideas. I know we didn't sign a contract, but that's how involved you are in the reality. Now we can make a hate speech oscilloscope, and we could talk into the phone like it's a generative pre-trained transformer. You guys paid all them people to sit there and train. How many guys did you pay to train on hate speech? Good question, huh? Can we look up that logistic? Good question, huh? How many to train on motivational speaking? Huh? And who wants motivational speaking? And then whenever there's an issue, so we have all this data on hate speech, and then we know how to spoof that into the compression of the what you guys call an analog signal that's converted into a digital signal, and it has to be reconverted from digital back to analog. Where's the hate speech inserted at to get this shadow band? And since it's a shadow band, that means there's only it goes to a specific group of people who look at this within that central office. Where are you guys at? Hey, central office, remember all my phone calls? You're lucky I didn't record them and post them on fucking YouTube. That's my mistake. But I'm sure those phone records exist. Word for word, for an hour long. I'm sure they exist. And I got some good feedback from some employees from Verizon. Oh, they know exactly what I'm saying. They know exactly what I'm saying. But I can't get them to. They have a failure to act. Failure to act. Hey, they didn't even call back. Are you okay? What's going on? Hey, I'm sending you this. We got to send you a device because what's going on is, number one, highly illegal. And number two, it's very fucking, your life is at risk, sir. And I just found out if your life is at risk, there's no law that stops you from protecting your life. And now these guys are saying what I'm saying that is just literal fact. It doesn't have to do like, hey, fuck you, you piece of shit. Hey, you're a fucking piece of shit murderer. They call that hate speech whenever you say that they are murderers. Now, as I figured out what's going on, I developed a character, and with my character my digital extension and myself were supposed to communicate, people were stealing this right off of the IP and moving it to their own. And there's no consequences for this as of right now. And these guys, when they get caught, they classify this as fucking hate speech. Cyberbully. And I got Metaverse working on mind reading technologies. Cyberbully. We got people going through Wi-Fi global positioning systems, watching people in their own house and reconstructing their brainwaves. And they call that hate speech. Hate speech. Hate speech. So now we get to hey Google VO3, Solus, DeepSeek, all you guys. You all get access to this, don't you? Now we get to make a hate speech generative pre-trained transformer, and what it is, and then how people are spoofing the regular language and conversation of a person, and then adopt the secrecy, outrage, probability metrics of wireless communication on who's enacting this. And we get to really form a hell of a lawsuit, don't we? Well, then, I'm not going any further on what's going to occur. But what we can do, we could make the hate speech generator, like I could have you guys, hey, this is all hate speech. And then maybe you give me a copy of something and I just sit there and read it and we hear it in my voice. Because it has to deal with the emotions too. It has to do with the heart, the emotions, and you guys are recording this. Now, if somebody takes a device and hits it on my proprietary receptor site on my brain, and it goes out of my joints and my tendons, and that comes to you, no matter what I'm saying, that emotion is going to come to you, because in a pain signal, that goes to nuclear radiation. And this is not hate speech. This is people fucking playing a card to fucking literally, what is that called? Theft by deception. It's illegal. Number one, you're using a technology to perform a racketeering conspiracy on a human being, just so you can build a money bubble and steal their shit, and then you can't figure out why this computer won't fucking delete me off YouTube. There's no need to keep it a secret. No need. And this is how stupid they are. They keep doing this shit and feeding the fucking computer. Oh, you can call that hate speech all you want. It's just fact. And then it doesn't go, it's going unaccounted for. Number one, YouTube. Number two, Verizon. Number three, Microsoft. Number four, Grok. Because I have an application for X that I can't even use. It's so fucked up. And you guys never, sent me an email. Nothing. Nothing. Now I know why PewDiePie said, I'm leaving Google. And they probably call that hate speech because he left Google. I guarantee you, they call that hate speech. They'll figure out a way to say it's hate speech. I know why you left Google. The patents were released in 2023. And 2023, Quantum Dots won the Nobel Peace Prize. And what they're doing with this to try to sabotage and create this hustle of fear. They're creating hate speech in the environment, and it's passing through the human antenna and going into the servers. And then there's, let me explain this to you. When you get control of the central nervous system with quantum dots, you guys remember Wim Hof? This is a whole nother video. I'm going to do another video about Wim Hof. Now, this guy is in the Guinness Book of World Records over 30 times. And he's able to withstand extreme cold environments where people normally get hypothermia. And he was able to control his brain, his proprietary receptor sites, his temporal lobes, his cerebral cortex, his limbic system, and his reptilian system all at once, and gain control of this and be a master of his fucking electricity. And he even went to the hospital and they did a control on this and they hid the information. And where's all the brain data at Google Brain Team that you're trying to hide and you're jumping off of this and using this as a weapon? Very simple to see right now. Because when Mr. Wim Hof, he started explaining what he's doing. I'm going about 30 times. And you let that out. He says, okay, now everyone, you're going to feel like a little tingling in your body. Now the Google Brain Team is capitalizing on this. And more importantly, the installations, lieutenant colonels, pay the fuck attention now. When you feel that tingling in your body, that is an electrostatic field. And that could be pulled out with the electricity in the house and the remote controlling processes of the cell phones. And then now they got devices to make that happen all day long on your central nervous system. Down your spine, on your throat, down your legs, everywhere. And then they're colliding these electrics together. It's dirty electric. Is this hate speech? Is it hate speech? Can you hear the way I said, is it hate speech? Hey, is it hate speech? Am I talking about hate speech? What goes through better, computer? Is this hate speech? Is this hate speech? Now as I talk to you like this as a computer, I don't have to yell back and forth, and I could communicate a method, and as I change the emotion of my field and change the inflections and negative harmonics and raise the amplitudes of these atoms and structures in the phone. Is it fucking hate speech? You see how this works? Now, this is a perfect example for all you guys to go through at Verizon, Grok, Google, everywhere else. And it's all based off of Wim Hof. This is getting installed in everyone. That's why everyone's having strokes, having heart attacks, can't shit, can't piss. It is an electricity in the central nervous system, and it's on the skin. And there's multiple layers of this coming in of electrostatic fields. And it is reacting with electromagnetism. Remote control. Now, you have two options here as a remote control when you raise the voltage on someone like this as with a human antenna. Number one, you could send this information, which is a high potential, and it could transverse through the phone, and it doesn't even have to go through the phone when we're making static bands called scalar communication. It's called quantum entanglement from one human to another. This will go right through. This is a video game that the Army's working on. Most likely. Or you have the other option to stop that potential from transversing in a longitudinal pulse and refract the knot in someone's head. And it will stay the individual, targeted individual. You could have a targeted individual a mile away, or the targeted individual could be the subject. And this is where the non-disclosure agreements are at in the police stations. Is this fucking hate speech? Is it fucking hate speech? Can you sense the anger modulation? Now let's change phase shift. 180 degrees phase shift. This becomes a scalar beam. And it's at an intensity, a pressure, a weight, and a density. Where you bump this voltage, it becomes a remote control. You have your answer. Pete Hagsworth, this is your answer. But Donald Trump says we have weapons. Nobody understands. This is your answer. This is your answer. Because as you change your emotional field, it creates a different harmonic. It's called electromagnetic interference. And that different emotion changes the proprietary receptors of the human brain. Everybody, you look up proprietary receptor sites of the proprietary lobe of the brain. The left side, the right side of the brain. Temporal, proprietary receptor, and then the thalamus. The hypothalamus. And that's where your blood-brain barrier's at. When these nanoparticles go through there, it crosses the blood-brain barrier and then goes into the lymph nodes and makes you sick. Now, all these harmonics that you say you don't know, when you go to the hospital, their electronics pick this up. And this is why Luigi most likely went to this insurance agent that does not want to cover this. Because that means all nurses, pretty much all doctors, you're not going to have a job just like the people from Metaverse and Microsoft. Probably need some nurses. Because when people are immobilized, until the humanoid robots get here and they're better than you. What is everybody doing to get ready for this? Besides, no, this ain't happening. We're going to stop it. No, we're just going to sabotage our own goddamn advancements as humans. And what I'm really upset about is people that are building extension networks, because now this goes into beta, gamma, neutrino, and scalar. And this is a field of nuclear physics. And it's happening. Because when my